Joining us now, Key Square Group founder and Trump donor, Scott Bessent. Scott, great to see you in person.
Yep.
What do you make of Kamala Harris stealing the no tax on tips? Because that's all she's got. She's got no agenda, no policy ideas except what she lifted from President Trump.
Well, I think a few things about Vice President Harris is, one, she's trying to run from the Harris-Biden economy. And, as we know, President Biden for the past, we don't know whether it's months or years, has been unable to run anything. So we have to assume that it was Vice President Harris who was in charge. And she is running as far away as she can. They've already talked about tax increases, this adding 87,000 agents to the IRS. I think what most people don't know, last year, 67% of the audits were on people making under $200,000 a year. So, this is not a friendly, a small person friendly administration. The other thing that has happened is the bottom 50% of Americans have been in a recession for 2 years. When she comes out and says, my priority, when I become president is going to be to help the middle class, they've wiped out the middle class. And, who's done well? The top 10 or 20%, people with assets, they spent and spent. They pushed the stock market up. The Fed has kept rates high, but they keep spending. So, the deficit, we've never had a deficit like this before. 7% of GDP during peacetime or non-recessionary times. So, they wanted to tax Venmo transactions or transactions that were under $600. So, this is not an economy or a plan for the little people.
Yeah, to your point, Scott, the wage gap was shrinking under the Trump years, and it's only expanded. The difference between the haves and the have-nots under the Biden era, which is what socialism or communism always gets us. But I think we always come back to this point of the American people like authentic. In Donald Trump, whether you like him or not, he's authentic and he's telling you what he thinks. Where Kamala Harris with the laughter, but also the fakeness with which she steals Trump's policy on let's not tax tips, when she was the tie-breaking vote to make sure we could have more IRS agents to go after the very tips that she's saying she wants to protect from. But what's troubling is I think because the media pushes this narrative that she's so brilliant and she's so great, that a lot of the American people will buy that as opposed to seeing that it was Donald Trump's original idea and it came from him.
Well, look, the idea that this administration or part of this administration is going to cut taxes is like saying Hannibal Lecter is going to become a vegan.
Right.
They've already told us that they are going to have huge tax increases. Yeah. They're going to, they want the Tax Cuts and Job Act to expire. If that expires, that will be the single biggest tax hike in history. Never been this big before. So,
but on middle income and lower income Americans as well.
Yeah, well, they also, they keep saying that it will only be for people who make more than $400,000, but they also want to raise the capital gains rate. And that will affect everyone, whether you make $10 a year, $10 million a year.
Right. They also want to tax unrealized capital gains of wealthy people. That will destroy our innovation economy. That is an existential threat to U.S. Technological development and everything that we hold dear in terms of innovation. But I want to get to this really quickly. The Biden-Harris administration launching a brand new effort to crack down on private businesses, dubbing it, quote, time is money. That's what it's called, the initiative. Ironically, coming from a team who has seen the cost of federal regulations that they've laid on businesses skyrocket to almost $1.7 trillion and counting under their watch. That is borne by businesses and ultimately borne by every worker at a time, Scott, that the hourly labor market, in addition to the salaried labor market, is beginning to really crack and suffer under the strain of this weak economy?
Well, look, you've got two candidates who have never in their adult lives gotten a paycheck that was not from a government entity. They have never been in the private sector. The New York Times wrote a story on this today, and they thought it was good. I think it's appalling. They have only, since college, Vice President Harris, Governor Walz have only gotten government checks, so they have no idea what it's like to meet payroll, what it's like to sign the front of a check, what it's like to take some risk. They have never taken a risk.
And it shows in the policies that they push. Scott, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it.
Great to see you.
Always so wonderful.
Always come back often.
Please, please. All right.